And it seems we are live.
Excellent. Welcome to Voices in the Wilderness, a 13th Age adventure. Where we last left our heroes, they were making some questionable rule decisions and making memories.
Sweet, sweet memories.
Since it has been a little bit since our last proper session, we probably need somebody to recap here.
Someone, not me, because I missed the past few.
Well, when you say past few, do you mean since we've killed the dragon?
Yeah.
Wait, we killed it? Last I saw is that...
Oh, wait, we didn't kill it. We killed,
we killed What's-Her-Face.
Yeah, What's-Her-Face.
And then gave control of the dragon to, what's his name?
Zachary. Zach?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
wait.
Zexel?
Zexel! Dragon arm.
Correct.
Yeah. And then that was the last one I was here for.
Then we had Ferris Week. Where to, help Ferris, fudge, what was it? We were helping Ferris become incorruptible by creating memories that he would seal? I forget exactly what was going on there. But we created a bunch of memories and did Ferris Dating Simulator, and it was fun. It was a good time.
We never found out who he picked. Or did he just go with the harem ending?
You
I
picked
think
Monica.
Oh god. I'm pretty sure he went with the harem. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went with the harem ending.
All right. Either way, because of that Ferris week, you've kind of been asked to stay in town while the Imperial Guard kind of sorts out everything that's happening. There's a couple of things with that causes a few complications and a few things that you need to decide exactly what you're going to do about them. The first being, there's a pretty big power imbalance right now. The second being, well, you do know there might be a few things going on with the Crusade that may not be as on the level as you hoped, even for the Crusade. And the last being, you do have the Child Emperor.
Oh yeah. We kidnapped the Emperor.
Oh, good God, what did I miss?
We didn't kidnap the Emperor. We currently are protecting the Emperor. There is a difference.
Is this what happens when I leave? You all
Yes.
become kidnappers and sports stars and start talking about harems and... Oh, good God.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Apparently, I'm sad I missed it.
It was kind of painful for a lot of us.
I bet.
Just to clarify, Dan, before we go too deep into remembering things, was it Indra or Celestrine that lost her eye? Or chose to lose her eye?
It was Indra Celestine. Not Vaguna Celestine.
That's the other name I was looking for.
Oh, no! Carnifex's girlfriend lost an eye?
No, Carnifex's girlfriend's sister lost an eye.
No, Indra... Vaguna's the one that doesn't like us, right?
Oh, okay.
Indra's
yes.
the one that he went on a date or two with.
Well, she plucked her own eye out.
Well,
Because it was a dragon eye.
That's hardcore.
It is pretty hardcore. Yeah.
He probably likes her even more now.
I'm sure she looks good with an eye patch.
Oh,
She
probably.
may also have a kid
What?
now. I mean, she's kind of the only person that is like, if we go with the whole democratic choice, then
Oh,
the only
she's going to
person that
raise
could-
the child emperor sort of
yeah.
thing. Okay, yeah.
Congratulations on your new
Oh
child.
God! Does that mean Carnifex is going to be? his
Yeah,
dad?
congratulations.
Oh God!
Yes, because the child emperor, or empress, I guess I should say, was actually of the the third Celestine sibling, who is now very dead.
That wasn't our fault, was it?
It was not.
Oh, Dan said it wasn't, so I'm going with that.
All right, we can be guilt-free. The DM said we don't have to feel guilt.
It was due to Ilya's purge of kind of most of the imperial nobility. And between that purge and, well, the fact that you've kind of killed the leadership of the library, really there is a big power swing. Without a emperor proper, the Imperial Guard doesn't have much sway except their authority to find said emperor, leaving the bulk of the power right now in the Crusade and the Imperial Air Force.
I am one of those, technically. Huh. Oh God.
We also can't necessarily trust the Crusade except for Carnifex.
Yeah.
Because you did find, while going into the basement, that somebody had unleashed what looked like devices made to hold open demonic gates. Made from the same material that is very popular in the Crusade.
We also can't entirely trust the Air Force because Orlando is now kind of a significant head honcho there.
I forgot we alienated him from us, and he doesn't like us now.
We?
Well, you know, Lissy did, and
Yeah.
we suffer because of it. We're
I'll
associated
talk
with
shit
her.
about Lissy while she's not here.
Yeah. Damn it, Nikki, get here so I can not feel bad about talking shit about your character. Oh, what a fine mess I've stumbled into.
So, yeah, we've got to kind of decide who we give what to and when. I mean, we do have, barring our last in-character discussion pre-Ferris Week, I think we had some good ideas. Mostly because there's no nobility to support the Emperor right now.
Yeah. Hard part's just gonna be convincing the Crusade to let go of their power.
Well, we're pretty good at convincing if you use quotation marks around that word.
I'm not gonna kill my bosses.
But then you could be the boss. Like, I'd much rather have Carnifex in charge. I mean, out of character and in character, but I'd much rather have Carnifex in charge of the Crusade than someone we really cannot
instead
trust.
of Flockhart or whatever
Yeah.
his name is.
Instead of Callista Flockhart, yes.
Yeah.
The Crusader is Ally McBeal.
I forget
Oh
the
my God.
Lockhart or whatever his name is. I don't know. I've been gone a while.
He's a simple hyper chicken.
Yeah, the simple hyper chicken. God, I just imagine that chicken in Crusader armor every time Dan talks with that character.
Well, we could just retroactively make him like a bird, like a Tengu.
That's up to you. You're the DM.
I don't think I ever described him.
Vaguely, very
why-
vaguely.
Why did I go to Tengu? There's like a proprietary bird race we have.
I was wondering. I
Yeah.
was really curious why we went there.
I just
Tengu
yeah.
are just Akbi elitists.
Oh, Dwayne is still around. I like that.
We still have allies in the Imperial system, but
They're getting fewer and fewer.
they keep dying on us, so...
Or turning evil and forcing us to kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately Orlando falls under that guideline, too.
Oh.
We kind of need to turn him back or destroy him. Which means that, yeah, Lissy needs to be here and actually tell him the truth so that this shit doesn't get crazier.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also, of course, have Rixus, who Ferris has made numerous deals with,
Yeah.
and Casey, who made a doomsday weapon that you guys have access to.
Yep. Yeah,
Oh,
we totally
God.
trust those two people.
You have a doomsday. Someone has a doomsday. Oh wait, right. I was here for that one. That thing.
Yeah, the
That-
giant...
That Lissy made better, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
God.
shard-destroying laser that Lissy improved, quote-unquote.
I'm pretty sure we're the supervillains. I'm now 90% convinced.
No,
We are the
see,
supervillains.
I mooned a demon, so obviously I can't be part of a supervillain group.
Hey, most of the villains think they're doing it for the right reasons, so...
Well, yeah, that's true.
Oh, hey, right, and of course there was the demons,
Ugh.
the ever-present threat that you kind of found out at the tail end of Champion Tier there. That's, you know, this world is being groomed to be consumed.
And if everything splits apart and they start fighting internally, then we're
We're doomed.
either they're either going to climb up the tree or just strike us directly. Did we tell Hunhao that? Does Hunhao know that like the demons are going to crawl up the tree and consume us if we wait longer? I forget.
Yeah.
Only Malkesh knows that.
Oh shit.
No,
Okay.
No,
No.
no one knows that.
No, not just me. Gunhild and Ferris know as well.
Did
Was
you
Sherwood say
mention that? No, other Malkesh told you that.
Oh god, now it's just Malkesh is all the way down and I gotta remember that. I thought I said something. I guess not. Okay,
You might have mentioned something to Ferris and Gunhild. If
that's probably true. I did probably mention
if that is easier, then that is the reality we will go with.
without going back and rewatching the prior episodes. I remember saying something, but it could have been Malkesh being just horribly vague too.
I couldn't be bothered to watch the old episodes to remember the third Celestine sibling's name, so I
Oh
can't
my
blame you.
god.
Let's talk about how bad at note-taking I am.
How bad are you?
So I think after Ferris week, we've got to go back to the room, obviously, and see how.
Indra? That one?
No, Delilah and I'm gonna call him Gary. What's his name?
Which one? Mort?
Takashi. Gregory. I
Oh, Takashi.
Yes.
Yeah.
don't know why I wanted to call him Gary, but there you go.
Yeah, those are... You can see them there. It's you. It's your loyal NPCs.
I'm assuming Mbois made it back too after all that.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Ambois and... I don't have... 1 second, let me grab some more.
I'm gonna mute my phone quickly before anyone...
Alright,
Oh.
that should be the full collection of people you brought with you.
Okay. So I guess party-wise, we need to decide what to do first. I don't recommend approaching Orlando until at least Lassie is here out of character.
I agree.
But we can certainly do something about the baby emperor, and assuming Indra is able to do so, would be one of the people to watch him. Or we could go straight to Vaguna, who probably will attack us.
Let's go to
Wait,
Indra first.
we managed to piss her off again after I did all that work to make her like us?
I don't know. I'm just assuming she doesn't like us. At least Indra was there for the big attack against all the nobles. So she knows that we weren't doing it. Vaguna may not know that.
All right.
That said, I don't recommend we take the baby with us.
I am gonna say of pretty much of all both your NPCs and the head honchos, you can't have access to anyone.
Then let's go see Indra. And maybe get her to adopt a baby.
Fine.
I mean, we'll take any other option here, but we gotta check these things off.
We really don't, do we? There's not many options. At least none I can think of.
To Indra it is then. Baby stay behind, though. Probably best not to just throw the baby at her.
Here, catch! It's yours now, bye!
Yeah, there's a problem with the baby. What's the problem with the baby? It's your baby now.
Yeah. There's a problem with this baby. What? It's yours now, throw it at her. No receipt, no returns, and leave. Great. Okay, let's do it.
All right. To find Indra, it wouldn't be terribly difficult. That said, you have a lot of access right now. Once again, you are probably being watched, but nobody will stop you. You are able to get to what is pretty much the infirmary within the Imperial Library. And in her own room, you'll find Indra recovering. And
So,
I'll
Mo-
just bring you four up here.
I will knock on the door before entering, because it is the polite thing to do.
You'll just hear a, yes, come in.
And then I will do so. And motion everyone else to come in as well.
Hanau's going to be coming in with a massive basket of flowers that nobody's quite sure where he got.
Did you rob another farmer?
Probably. I mean, who really owns flowers, man? They grow from the ground.
The person that owns the ground.
You can't own ground, man.
Yes.
Melkesh walks over and picks up her chart and just starts reading over it.
Don't mind them. They're them. How are you doing?
Well, first, Malkesh, you would be able to gather that information.
Yes, but
How
it's-
is she doing?
Yeah, no, she is stable. She's doing well. There seems to be a lot of... Oh, I think I'm echoing off Dollard.
Oh, that's weird, because I'm wearing a headset.
Yeah, that is strange.
You're not showing up as speaking on my end.
That is very strange. Oh, now it's good. Alright,
Oh no, it's doing it again.
maybe just set a push to talk.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. One second.
This has never screwed us over before.
No, this is new. This is a Completely new thing. Where's the settings? Voice
Uh,
video.
You see that effectively she is healthy but stable. But considering the wound, it has a greater effect on her than it really should. I mean, it would have an effect on anybody, but it is altering her entire being.
Right. How long will she be in recovery, according to what they think?
You see... You essentially see that they are charting still healthy, but they are tracking kind of what seems to be kind of her innate power dropping.
Is there anything that can be done to help her recover quicker, as far as production of something?
I don't know, you tell me.
Let's find out!
And she will answer Carnifex's question of... Yeah,
And that's without the +4, so...
alright, So effectively, you are seeing... You are pretty easy... It's pretty easy for you to put it together. She is just... Her body has just become accustomed to having the level of power it has. She has gone from being... Well, near superhuman to just being human.
Right.
You don't suspect it will... you don't suspect it will cause her to deteriorate into death, but honestly, it might be... It's the good old double whammy of both being significantly weaker and questioning of purpose.
Right. As far as medically is concerned, because purpose I can't cure, I think he would be trying to develop something that would take the edge off, so to speak. It would not make her stronger so much as make the general feebleness she's feeling not be as significant, so she can actually recover.
Yes.
We don't want to make her superhuman again. We just want her to make her transition not like a horrible, like, drug-related withdrawal.
Yeah, no, you can... You probably between... I mean, this is both a little bit alchemy, but also a little bit from your more magical side as well. You can probably concoct some superhuman power methadone.
Yeah, basically. Okay, that he would do that while others are talking to her, at least for the moment.
But you will need to essentially have some locus of power that you're drawing from.
Hmm.
You don't have to give it, once again, you're not trying just to bump her up or replace it. But what is kind of the well of power you're drawing from to give her the feeling?
Well, I do have a vial of silver dragon blood.
That's... Yep. If you use that, yeah. Between that check and that ingredient, you actually think that that would massively help.
Well, we need this ally on our side, superhuman or not. Plus, Carnifex has a thing for her, so.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You should! You'll get a bill later.
Bill it to the Emperor.
To which she will answer Carnifex saying, "More shaken than injured, I feel. Being honest, the injury is self-inflicted." mostly trying to catch up on what's been going on, staying conscious while listening to reports back and forth, trying to make sure my sister has the best idea possible of what happened to the entirety of the Imperial nobility and how we failed.
Sorry, I forgot I'm on push to talk for a second there. Out of character. So I can't because I missed the assassination thing there. Was she there for that? Does she know what happened or?
She knows that you guys didn't kill everybody. She knows that something else happened, and she knows who the likely culprit is. But when it comes down to what happened exactly with Ilya, that's just something the party knows right now.
Okay, and now to the rest of the party, did we ever? Because again, I wasn't here. Did we ever discuss about not telling people, or would it be okay to tell her? Because I feel like this is something we would have talked about before potentially. Because if we haven't, Carnifex being Carnifex, he probably would just start blurting everything out.
Well, we're not telling most people. In fact, we're keeping the fact that the Emperor is still alive as pretty closely guarded secret.
I meant more the Ilya betrayed everybody and had people killed, and it was their fault. Less
Oh no!
The baby
Go ahead for
part.
that.
And she does know about the baby because Ferris used it to kind of bring her mental state from completely
down.
unstable.
Okay, so she already knows about that. So yeah, I'll fill in some more blanks for her about Ilya and whatnot.
She kind of pushes herself up so she's sitting up in the bed and then nods as you inform, and then just... Now I have to ask, is she alright?
She means the baby, right?
Yes.
Yeah, just nods.
Good. And it's not a complete failure, then. There's also numerous reports of... Well, not reports that are public, but other key figures are missing from what I've been told.
It's been interesting, that's to say the least. Who is reported as missing so far? Like he's actually asking who's been reported missing to see what he can and can't say.
Well, from what Vaguna has told me personally, the diplomat from the Allied Kingdoms, as well as Florentine, haven't been found yet. And that the entire basement of the library is filled with lake water, making it very difficult to search.
Good, Malkesh lets out before he realizes what he said.
Again, out of character, the diplomat from the Allied Kings. Oh, Saxo, right? That's that guy. Okay, yeah. Never mind. Took me saying it out loud to realize what I was asking. And I also shoot daggers for glare at Malkesh for piping up.
I suppose I don't have to reiterate that one of the major figures from the Allied Kingdoms simply disappearing during a diplomatic visit is not the best for border stability, especially since the visit was to discuss the potential of weapons of mass destruction.
Once again, out of character for the party. Ah.
Malkesh is kind of filling a needle as he hops up on the bed. You kind of have a lot of issues internally before you got to worry about the borders, don't you?
Well, yes, I do, but this is my job.
Yeah, I get that, but you may need to take on a different role soon.
That sounds oddly specific.
It is. So Malkesh kind of looks around the room and to the open door and kind of motions for like somebody to close the door to the room.
Hunhel will lay the flowers down at the foot of her bed and then go close the door.
I don't suppose there's any way to tell if some place is being watched magically between the four of us, I guess, that are here. I guess we really need Ferris in that case.
That is a Ferris roll, but everybody here is magical in some small way. Like, says famous children's entertainer from the Granite Ostrom, I guess.
Jesus.
Hey!
Hey, Nikki.
I didn't realize how loud my volume was.
Hi, Nick.
Sorry.
I now, however, realize how loud my volume is.
Oh dear.
Does someone want to make a check for that whole magical surveillance thing?
I will make a check.
I was gonna say I could, but I don't think it'd be a good idea.
Wow.
Hey, we'll roll with it. Say yes or no.
I don't think there's anything here.
Yeah, no, you actually, you do catch wind of something. And you kind of trace it back, and you realize that where it's being traced back to, there is no consciousness at the end. Not as in the void, but as in if somebody was watching, they're not watching now.
Then
It's essentially the end point of the spell has ceased to be the end point.
So basically, the security guard got up and took a break. They're
They
not
went for
watching
coffee.
the CCTV right now.
Or more accurately, the whoever it was watching it is either not casting the spell or has become unable to cast the spell.
Okay.
But it's enough a part of this that this spell has clearly been permanently enchanted.
Then I'm gonna go ahead and, pass that on to the rest of the team.
Malkesh just kind of nods. So, about Florentine. She was a bit of a prick.
Well, that's an understatement.
Also, this is going to be a bit of a prick, sorry. And Malkesh just kind of jabs her.
Okay, that you did give heads up, so I can't be too angry, but what was that?
It'll just take the edge off, don't worry. So, Florentine was actually transferring silver dragon blood all over the countryside via the food basket. So, despite the fact that you now have no large group of dedicated noblemen of the line, you have an entire country that are technically eligible right now.
By the letter of the law, correct.
Yeah, the problem is that's eventually probably going to get out. And it may be for the best. The thing is, the Emperor has, well, you and your sister to support them. That's about it, really, and this much destabilized.
You're not wrong.
So, yeah, I guess to clear up some things, we had to kill Florentine. She kind of wanted to control the entire continent.
That's a bit to take in. That's technically treason.
It is, and we dealt with it. We also dealt with the Silver Dragon, who's now under the command of Zexel. They've got kind of a symbiotic, both want to kill each other thing going, but that at least removes that issue between you and the Allied Kingdoms necessarily.
I thought... Isn't he, like, one of the Dragon Mistress's right hands?
I think
Yes.
he quit.
I mean, his right hand is a dragon arm, isn't it?
Right. That... He's one of the other ones.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna say this isn't complicated. It is. It's very complicated, but for the most part, it seems like there is the potential for balance. But two things have to happen. And you're kind of instrumental in both of them.
Go on.
One, as far as the world knows, the Emperor's dead. I think for her sake, that would be for the best if the world continued to think that.
That's not what the reports I've been told. The world doesn't know anything happened.
Right, but if it comes out that the Emperor is alive and without a current support structure, things are going to get a lot worse for you and for the baby.
Yes.
Yeah. It may be best if you were to simply adopt the current Emperor.
Oh,
And assume they are an orphan.
without hesitation, it's...
We figured you'd be down for that, but the thing is, you cannot let them know about their origin.
I... see.
Because if it comes out later that the Emperor is still alive and eventually of a certain age, this is what civil wars are made out of.
Yes. I started down this path so I could stay close to my sister. Make sure she was protected, and now that child is all that's left of her.
And you can protect them. In fact, I can think of no greater role to do. Because they really will need protection, especially in the times ahead. Now, part 2 of that is if everyone is eligible, the only real option is to stop being an empire and to have elections. Elections will get people distracted from the more, perhaps, militant options, and they'll come together. Now, I'm not saying they'll agree. I'm not saying there won't be a fight or two or a riot. But it certainly would allow for a more stable base if the next leader is elected.
Yes. But I'm afraid for that sort of help you're talking to the wrong sister.
Well, yes, but we know you don't plan to kill us outright. So we figured we'd start here.
I said I got in this to protect my family, and we both made a lot of sacrifices to let that happen. But Vaguna got into this to make sure nobody ended up like us again. If she's rough and you may have had your arguments, but I think you have a fine ally if you're looking for somebody to change the face of the Empire. We were nothing. And one of us effectively won the lottery. And the remaining two chased after. One because we couldn't leave the other behind, but Vaguna saw an opportunity. Plus, she still has command and she still has her power.
Well, then you may be right. You just have to understand it's a little hard to tell who we can trust after what happened with Florentine. In fact, the fact that the Emperor is still alive is, well, it's about you and 3 other people. Actually, to be fair, most of them don't actually know that that's the Emperor. Gregory's really gonna freak out.
Oh, that poor soul. What did we get him into?
But if you think that Vaguna will listen to us, then I guess that'll be one of our next stops. We also, this is a bit of a side story. So you all recently recruited Arlondo into the Air Force.
Yes, that was... Well, yes.
His motivations are skewed by a bias that he doesn't fully understand. And would just nearly about kill us as talk to us at this point.
He did seem off. Driven, but off.
Well, his anger isn't, I wouldn't say, it's not unjustified. But at the same time, it's not directed productively, let's put it that way. There's a huge fight coming. And I don't mean for the Empire, I mean for the entire continent. And if his misdirected anger continues, he could very well doom this entire continent.
This is quite a lot to lay on an injured woman's shoulders.
Yeah, we figured, but we do also trust you, which is why we're taking the chance to put it on your shoulders. Also, that stuff should help in a little bit. You just need some rest.
Well, then I'll... So what do we do to set that right? That I'm a little bit more unsure of. He's... effectively without... If Florentine is missing and We're going to have to figure out something for that one.
Yeah, we're at least I'm unsure what to do about him.
But if she's missing, then more and more of his control, or her control, will ratchet away, and some of it will go to Vaguna, but a lot of it will likely switch to him. He made the deals with her to, well, the hire, I suppose you call it.
Is there anything that can be done to assure it mostly goes to Vaguna?
For better or for worse, our system's set up to make sure that none of the military power ends up in the hands of one commander.
Well, I understand that for the sake of preventing coups, but at the same time, we are actually trying to prevent a coup here. Something tells me Orlando would not be as open to a democratic process as some others might be. Especially if he's as driven as he sounds.
Well, he is certainly... Well, he's designed a lot of ships. And a lot of improvements to our existing ones.
And to be fair, we don't want to take him or his advancements away from you necessarily, but he himself is perhaps too unstable to be in that position. There has to be balance more than just in the Empire, for example. Florentine's idea was that she could conquer the entire continent with Orlando's inventions. The problem is, if we devolve into war, there may not be much left to save when the demons eventually crawl up the world tree and consume us.
But what do we then? What you're proposing is we start to form a shadow council that's going to decide who gets to keep their power or not.
I'm not saying it's the most shiny choice, but we do have to at least prevent those that would want to try to take over to allow a more democratic process.
So, are you saying Orlando is compromised by the demons?
No. Mukesh really sighs heavily and kind of rubs his head. He's compromised by himself. And he looks around the room to see if Lissy has snuck in.
No, it's okay. Alright.
And a bit by his ex-girlfriend.
You're safe.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, he blames Rixus for a lot of the evils in this world, when he himself is the more at fault for a certain incident that I don't feel is prudent to share. But he will take that anger and burn the world if he has to get back at it.
Well, this...
Also, I'd like to state I'm talking merely as a worst case scenario. We still want to speak to him and try to convince him that, well, that such a method is not a good choice, but in case he, well, you know how Akbis are.
Yes, I do. I suppose it's probably better for you to get him back to normal. I'll admit it was kind of nice dealing with an Akbi without the constant haze around them, but I suppose that's...
He's on another intoxicant right now. Hate.
There's always something.
and I can't guarantee we can cure him. But the alternative is, well, then he goes missing as well.
So are you going to leave any empire behind?
The Empire's irrelevant, Malkash kind of says and kind of wanders back and forth. Ideally, you come together, you rebuild your nation in a stable democratic method, and everyone lives happily and comes together to face the challenge that will consume us all in our lifetime.
And that's...
Or you won't. And you'll be consumed by those around you because you can't come together and fix your own problems. The point is, it doesn't matter. We need to face this challenge, and the Empire would be a strong ally. But if it has to rise on its own. We didn't come here to rule or to kill or to take over. We came here fighting a threat. Mukesh just kind of shrugs. We don't have a stake in this except for the whole world. Politics are not what we came here for.
Now, and politics aren't ever what I've been interested in. If it's a threat, what about the Crusade?
Malkesh kind of points over to... Does Carnifex know about all that out of character? Sorry, that's a quick question. Like, does in character, does he know about the somewhat spurious dealings of the Crusade?
I mean, he was there.
Okay.
Oh, no,
he
wait.
Didn't know before. He didn't know beforehand, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, that's up to you if you've informed him, because he was... You kind of split the party, so he was with Lockhart and Arthur.
Yeah.
And I wasn't there at the time that was figured out. Well, out of character. In character, I guess I was.
Well, let's decide.
I really love Ferris to tell us, because he was the one. But I guess, Dollar, that's up to you. What do you think?
I mean, if he was with Lockhart at the time, like Dan said, I don't think he would have... You guys would have had to tell him when we got back together.
I don't think we would have hid that from you. Does anyone else think we would have hid that from him?
I mean, so I'm saying it's more your choice if you told me or not. If you told me, then I knew. If you didn't, then I don't. But he didn't know beforehand, no.
Okay, quick party huddle for those that are in chat. Did we tell Carnifex or not?
I would say yes. I don't see why we would keep that from him.
Yeah, I think we would have told him about that.
Nick?
What? Wait, what?
Do you think the party would have told Carnifex about Lockhart's strange dealing and the whole demon metal thing?
Oh god, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yes, we would have told you. I think Ferris would have told you, but he's not here right now, so.
Then okay, then yes. I now know about it. And I am not happy.
We figured.
He growls. He growls as it's being mentioned.
Malkesh just kind of motions towards Carnifex. We're not sure how much of the leadership of the Crusade can be trusted. There's evidence of experiments potentially done in connection with Florentine that points to at least a corruption by the demons, if not outright working with the demons.
Okay, that's troubling.
Extremely, and what's worse is we have evidence, but we're not sure what the best approach is. The Crusade obviously serves a purpose, but again, it's another political figure in all this, and that's trouble for, well, you.
I can effectively hear Vaguna now saying that the reason for the division of power is so that well, the crusade can't turn us into monsters.
Well, right now, potentially 2 of the 3 branches are run by monsters. One due to straight old mortal hate, and one potentially by something worse. But there's nothing you can really do about that right now, so you really probably should be aware of it, but we're not expecting you to fix that. Really, all we need you to do is be there when Vaguna needs you and to be willing to protect your, I guess, sister?
She is one of the few things I have left.
Well, then congrats, you're a mother. We can probably doctor some forms to make that a little more legit.
I think I need some more rest.
I agree. So we'll leave you here. Hunhel, you're not allergic to the flowers he brought, right?
No.
Okay, good. Hunhel, you can put them over there.
Hunhel puts them over there.
Yeah, so, I would avoid anything with eggs for the next 48 hours, but you should be good to go. You will not... what I gave you won't make you stronger. You will not recover to where you were, but it should make the recovery more smooth.
I don't think I want to recover to where I was.
Good! That's one of the reasons we trust you. You don't have that same aspirations of power and control. It's a rare quality these days.
And she just looks and smiles and nods and kind of pushes her back down into herself back down into the bed.
Makesh jumps off the edge of the bed. I think for the next part we need Lissy.
Yeah?
I think so.
So I guess we go back to the apartment? Is it a...
What
is
have I
it?
done
It's
now?
a bungalow.
A bungalow, okay.
Reconvene. You're all together again in somewhere you can speak in private. Entire party.
So, Indra seems good. With what I gave her, she should be able to recover as quickly as possible considering the severity of the injury.
She took all of that
What,
very
a
well.
baby?
What was that, Lissy?
I didn't know babies had that kind of effect on people.
Well, I mean, they're related, and she cares a lot about them, so we're just gonna go with that, and I don't think we need to be doing babysitting any longer than necessary. I mean,
Okay.
unless any of you think we should, but...
I mean, I could study it.
Mhm.
Oh gods, no.
No.
That could
No studying
I'll
the
get you a book,
baby.
Lissy.
better? I don't know what
You're
you
not
think
allowed
about
near the
me.
baby anymore.
No touching the baby.
No being in the same room as the baby.
No
Hunhel.
looking at the baby. No thinking about going near the baby.
All right, folks, hold on. We have a bigger problem. We have another baby we have to deal with. Lissy,
Oh yeah.
what are our options concerning Orlando?
You're asking me like I know the answer to that.
Lissy, I'm asking you because the only person that knows his heart is you. Is he savable? If you were to find out the truth, would he be able to recover?
This, I suppose, this is a bird that's face down the lich. So my gut feeling is that, yeah, he could probably cope with it. I mean, I'm not sure how I cope with it, to be completely honest.
Not well.
Well, no. I thought I knew what he was like, and I knew he had got himself into a bit of trouble, but I never really expected that it was exactly what he did. So I can only expect that he'd react possibly the same way. That's if he even believes that this is the genuine sort of situation. He's quite... Everything has made him so much more paranoid than he used to be.
Do you still have his memories?
Well, besides what I gave him for the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I still have it.
I mean, you realize that if he is a direct threat to the stability of the continent, right?
But isn't everything really?
Lissy.
Like, I mean, there seems to be something every single week on the same day.
You're not wrong.
Once a week.
But that doesn't mean we can ignore it either. We're not ignoring the Crusade. We didn't ignore Florentine. We're not ignoring the fact that the Emperor is alive. We're not ignoring any of that. We have to solve these problems one at a time so that we can actually face, you know, the big threat. The threat that is literally waiting to consume us in the darkness.
I guess all we can do is show him and see what he does. At this point, even I'm slightly in the dark.
Markesh just kind of nods. So, I'm going to be blunt with everyone here. I have orders.
Orders.
I have orders. The Lich King is concerned that there's two options with Orlando, and I don't disagree. Because of the fight that's coming, our options are either to reconcile with him and maybe if you not necessarily make him like us, but at least to the point that he's not actively working out to kill or start a war with another area, Grand Nostrum specifically, or to recover him. And yes, I do mean that part of him. I don't want to do it. But I can't fault the logic he has. The other option is, well, the other option was that we support him and Florentine allow them to take complete control of the continent. Because under the Iron Fist, they would be able to raise one army to fight the threat directly. That's not the kind of world I wanted to live in.
No, I don't think any of us want to live in that kind of world.
So our options are either to talk down Orlando, or sadly, end him. And I don't say that lightly. It's something I've known for a while, but I haven't wanted to say out loud. I was not here when the issue with Rixus started, and I can't say I've ever quite gotten back to trusting Rixus. But I liked Orlando a lot. He was a good friend, and he trusted me for a time. I'm hoping that maybe that means there is something we can do. but I can't fault the fact that now we have a much more significant role to play in all this. So I'm willing to hear any ideas that might circumvent those needs, but I don't have any that I know of.
I'm afraid that I don't either.
I'm sorry, Lissy, I don't like these kind of ultimatum things. But I don't know what else to do. We can't ignore him. Especially now that he controls a third of the Empire's armed forces and there's no direct leadership now.
Well, I think we should confront him.
Mukesh kind of nods sadly. Alright. I guess that's our next step.
Let's just hope he's receptive to talking.
Would you all mind if me and Hun Hao take a little bit of the lead on this? He doesn't have any reason that I know of to distrust Hun Hao, and, well, I wasn't involved with a lot of the other stuff. I still want you all there, but maybe not, like, in the room at the time. I'm afraid his emotions are quite literally the only thing driving him right now.
Well, you certainly have my support.
If you want to do the talking, that's fine. I have nothing to add on this part of it.
I don't want to do the talking. I've been dreading this for, well, since I returned.
I can't say I totally understand, but I mean, you certainly know more about this than seemingly any of us do at this point.
I'm just worried that instead of listening to reason, he'll respond emotionally as soon as Lissy's in the room.
That is a concern. But I don't see us as having many other options. I mean, our other options would just be, well, to remove him from the picture entirely, and I don't think any of us want to do that.
No, but you all need to be at least close enough if it comes down to that.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Alright. I guess let's get going then. I'm assuming Ferris is still going through his memory wipe.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, disembodied voice.
That
He was,
said,
said the narrator.
you will remember that while you may have bits and pieces of the memory, if you wanted the whole bit of the memory, you would have to get it from Rixus.
See, I totally forgot that. Actually, in character, I'm not sure Malkesh knows that part, so if someone wants to interject with that.
Would I know that?
You know that.
I do know that.
Malkesh wasn't here for all that, so...
Malkesh, a word.
Yes?
We're gonna have to talk to Rixus first. It may possibly be that I don't have the complete picture.
Alright, well, I guess we have a stop to make then.
Dan,
Yes.
does this mean that Rixus could have been making shit up?
No, because you saw them. You saw the memory.
Oh, so he has half of it?
Well, you know at the end of it, so you saw that memory that he had contained, and then at the end of it, you decided that he would return the memory to the lockbox in Grand Adastro's tower, and you would give the plans to the Halcyon to the Miners Guild, to the Bankers Guild, so that they could hide it in their underground.
Don't tell Rixus I did that, because that.
Listen, we have.
I've already got one of them mad at me. I don't need both of them mad at me as well.
I don't think Rixus is going to start destroying the world because you did that. He'll understand the threat that Orlando is now. Then
Rixus is a weird one because he kind of did sort of halfway destroy the world by taking Orlando's memories to begin with.
It doesn't really destroy the world. I mean, it's devastating, yes, but
we're Rockbees. It's what we do.
But you take things to destroy your memories all the time.
The memories that would normally lead to destroying the world. Catch up.
All right. Well,
the problem is if
think-
you keep hiding these things, it's just going to become a bigger problem down the line anyways.
I know that you guys are trying to set up so that it doesn't send him off emotionally, but to be honest, Rixus and I have both been running from this sort of situation for a very long time.
listen,
And really, as much as I appreciate what you guys are doing, this is an Ockbee thing.
listen, the other choice is he dies. We're not saying, oh, well, we'll piss him off or he won't speak to us for 6 months kind of a thing. The option of him not understanding what actually happened and either choosing to be a better Ockbee or at least, hold back on whatever insanity he's planning is to kill him. I don't want to do that, and I'm not going to go in there with half the resources where that becomes our only option. Is that what you want?
I think maybe it should be myself and Rixus who talk to him.
I mean, you two are kind of the two people he would not trust at all right now.
Maybe that's why we need to talk to him.
Melkesh kind of rubs the back of his neck. I can't see this going well.
Well, you couldn't see it going well to begin with because, one of the options is to kill him. So
Well,
that's
yes,
not
but that
exactly
was-
the most rosiest of outlooks, if
But at the
I'm
time, he
honest.
had two options.
Yes, but the second option was his death.
Right now, I'm afraid that by you and Rixus going, that becomes our only option.
If that's the way that it is, then he's too far gone then, isn't he?
Melkesh kind of nods. Can you actually be open with him about what happened? You've dodged the subject for a very long time.
I can try.
No.
I can be no more than myself.
Melkesh kind of puts his hand on the top of her wing shoulders. I'm not sure what to call that. So it looks her in the eyes and says, "Lissy, if you have feelings for him, you need to be completely open about this. And you need to show that you're completely open about this. Even the parts that are going to hurt him. Because he has to understand you're not just doing this and dancing around the topic."
Yeah, I know.
You aren't held back by the things that used to hold you back. The Lich King doesn't hold sway over you. He gave that up.
Her eyes kind of lock to Malkesh's. And why would that be?
Because I took them on. Because I knew that I had the potential of at least steering some redemption from Orlando.
Oh, for the love of Christ. No, Bird Christ. Ockbee Christ. That Christ. For the love of somebody.
For the love of crackers.
For the love of crackers! Jesus Christ, I'm gonna say that now forever.
Listen, the way it was going, you were going to lose Orlando. If you still felt that you couldn't share, then you'd never have resolution. So I took it on. Because I didn't want to see you hurt like that.
And what did you give him in return?
Nothing.
You tricked him.
No. Turns out him and I actually have a lot in common as far as what our goals are. We just really don't want to see the world wiped out. And to be fair, it's kind of hard to argue with someone that knows that death comes to everyone, so he's patient. So no, I didn't trick him. At least not directly. If anything, I showed him that I was willing to actually try to care. I guess we have something in common, despite his little black heart.
No offense, Malkesh, but that is absolutely terrifying.
Malkesh just kind of takes his hands off her shoulders and just kind of shrugs. I can only be me. And he needed someone like me that cared. Believe it or not, a lot of dead people don't care no more.
Then I'd best do what needs to be done then?
Malkesh just kind of nods. Yeah, we'll stay close, but we'll let you take the lead.
All right. What do you do?
Sit in a corner and cry for a little bit.
What's Malkesh's job? Stop that.
What have I done? What am I gonna do? We need to get in touch with Rixus.
He wouldn't be hard to find. You are essentially in the house that he keeps for when he's in this city.
Oh, right. This is his house. Okay. So, I guess this is a confrontation all on its own. Because basically she's going to have to explain what they need to do. And ask for Orlando's memories back.
All right. As I said, it wouldn't be hard to find Rixus. How do you approach?
I guess as a party? At least this part.
Oh, please, for the love of God. Yeah, as a party, we approach Rixus. Probably in his study, since this is his house.
Yes. And you would find him in his study, trying to distract himself for a little bit.
Well, this is a distraction. Rixus, my friend.
Oh, so have we figured out what we're going to do about the Empire thing?
Yes, but that's not why we're here.
Kind of.
Go on.
Look, there's an issue, and it's a pretty big one. That we've realized that in order for us to continue on with our work, we need to solve this in a way that it won't come back and bite us on the ass when we come back. And I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
We're going to have to tell him everything.
Okay, yes, I understand getting him back on the level, and I understand making sure that he doesn't build a bunch of warships and then start a war with the newly independent Granadostrum, but that will destroy him.
It's that or we have to destroy him.
It's not like he set about this path just because a few unfortunate things happened in his life, Rixus. He was well on his way to that direction before I messed it up, before you messed it up, before either of us did.
Well, he did make a deal with the Lich King. That's...
No! He fooled the Lich King! He completely and utterly made a mockery out of him.
Yeah, I won't say the Lich King's pretty pissed about that.
He's not happy!
He's pretty impressed, though, I will say.
Well, it is quite stunning how he managed it.
Well... he's going to be trying to manage it again, I suppose, if he's building the ships. But, I mean, we do have time on that, right, at least?
Well...
I doubt it.
He is very focused when it comes to ships. Like me.
Rixus kind of snaps his beak a little and looks at Malkesh and Lissy and back to Malkesh and Lissy. Very focused, but still has to figure out one of the most difficult problems to metamagical engineering a second time. Right?
No. Malkesh says bluntly.
You didn't send them away, did you?
Honestly, that's somewhat irrelevant.
No, it's very, very relevant.
Lucy looks incredibly uncomfortable.
Did you restore that part of his memory?
Possibly.
Possibly? This is a yes or no. Did you hand him over crystals intended to go between 3 places so that he could recreate overland airships?
Malkesh steps between Rixus and Lissy. Yes, she did. But the point of fact is, he's had him for some time now. He is a threat that could quite literally completely destabilize the continent now. Whether he had figured it out on his own, made a deal with the Lich King again, or gotten them from Lissy is irrelevant, because he's still a threat either way.
Has he used the crystals yet, Dan?
We don't know. Oh, okay, I guess we do know.
Well, you assume, based on kind of what Honda had told you.
I think the Lich would have told us if he had made a deal again.
I haven't, well, not necessarily. Because my orders stand either way.
Then we do need to restore. Do you ever... You're so good at figuring out machines and machinery, but you never really do think about the makeup of spells, do you?
Rixus,
It just work.
he just
No,
looked
no.
at me like he always does. He just gave me that look.
Those memories of the Halcyon are dead in the middle of the rest that was excised. He's now aware a large part of his memory was metamagically removed.
By himself?
Okay. Yes, that he knew. But just imagine what's something you would get. Just imagine there's a series of gears and cogs. And you knew you removed 3 cogs in the middle. And then I removed all the cogs surrounding them. And then you just gave him those ones back in the middle without any of the other ones around it, so he's going to be very, very aware that they're all missing.
Rixus.
Oh.
She loves him. We all do stuff that makes no sense when we love someone. Okay? And maybe it's for the best, he knows.
Nods. But
He's gonna be a bit volatile.
It's already a bit volatile.
He was pretty volatile before, I know!
But
the way that Rixus explained it is yeah, that's kind of, I understand now.
But you know him. If there's a mystery he needs to find out, at least you can approach him with that.
Then we find out if all the gears come off.
He looks and then kind of reaches into the inner pocket of his robe and takes out a crystal and hands it to you. I didn't entirely make good on my end either. I thought it was a possibility we might have to use this here.
So, I suppose the question is, do you want to come with me when we hand over the missing parts of his memory?
Probably for the best.
Alright then. I suppose we're as ready as we'll ever be to confront Orlando? By the
Also-
way, guys, I'm sorry for just jumping in and stealing the entire show. If anybody has anything that they want to jump up and say.
No, I mean, we kind of waited to do this section until you were here intentionally.
Oh!
Yeah, I've really got nothing, and my head's kind of fuzzy today, so I've
Yeah,
just been
no.
pretty quiet.
That's why we started with Ibarra.
Yep.
Right. And baby duties.
Yes.
Baby duty.
Tyler knows a bit about that.
That's where
Tyler-
Duty.
Oh, man.
Ferris, you walk back in on Rixus lecturing Lissy about the nature of magical spells that forget memory and excise them specifically. You also can't remember anything from last week.
Why does this sound familiar?
Who am I? Why am I here?
I mean, I guess, yeah, I literally just arrived. Anybody wanna fill me in?
We've kind of... Well, actually, Jay, if you want to fill him in on everything that happened before I came in.
In character, out of character.
I prefer in character. Ferris is just as clueless as I am right now.
Okay, Melkesh kind of walks around, puts his arm around the back of Ferris's knees and leads him out of the room. Because he's not going to say some of this right in front of Rixus.
Oh, okay.
We talked to Avara. She's willing to take the baby on secretly.
Indra.
I was
Sorry.
gonna say, who's
Indra,
Aurora?
thank you!
Indra, okay.
Yes. Talk
You met a
to
whole new
Indra.
person.
Sorry. She's also supportive of our idea about a democratic reconstruction of the empire. But apparently we need to talk to Vaguna, because she's the one that has military control, could actually set some of these things in motion. Before we do that, we either need to fix Orlando or take care of him.
Or
'Cause he
fix.
controls-
Eyebrow waggle.
Neutering him won't help.
You never know.
Okay, so is that what Lissy and Rixus were talking about then? Is
Lissy is convinced that it's her and Rixus that need to confront Orlando. We are going along in case it becomes less of a intervention and more of a intervention, if you get what I'm saying.
okay? Well, I suppose that makes sense. Those two, at least at the moment, don't really get along very well. So yeah,
It makes sense? It doesn't make any sense. Like, literally, there's the two people he is going to decidedly have an emotional response against, and they're walking in there with evidence that they specifically altered his memories. He's already pretty much snorting hate from a white rail on the countertop.
I mean, if you and I came in and presented it to him, he would just hunt them down.
Well, I'd prefer that not happen, but I do understand what you're saying. I was kind of hoping that if it came to it, we'd be able to stop him before the whole hunting down thing
Right.
came along.
Well, if Lissy wants to do this, I think we owe it to her to kind of face her demons.
I don't doubt that this needs to be dealt with and that Lissy should have a hand. I don't think this is... I'm afraid they're doomed just by going to talk to him, just the two of them. I mean, how much is he willing to listen to them?
Well, I guess there's really only one way to find out. I think sometimes you need to have a little bit of faith in people, Malkesh.
Malkesh frowns. I wasn't taught a lot of faith growing up. I guess I have faith in this party, but I don't know that I can assume that... I don't know that I can assume that bad people can become good people. Or, well... I don't know. I wish I knew how to fix Orlando because he was a friend. Now he pretty much hates our guts. And on top of that, he's a threat to the entire continent. I don't want to kill him. It'll break Lissy's heart, and I don't want to break her heart. Also, this is just being said to Ferris, not to everybody, sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where, not a great situation. I'll admit, but it has to be faced now. Otherwise, like you said, it would threaten the entire continent.
Yes, I suppose you're right. All right, I guess let's
But
get on
thanks
with
for
it.
filling me in, Malkesh.
Anytime. How's your head?
Can you imagine like the biggest party you've ever had, and you wake up not being able to remember that?
I've never really been invited to a party.
Okay. Well, have you ever been really, really like drunk before?
Yes.
Okay, so like the morning after, but like instead of everything's hazy, it's gone.
Sounds kind of like a blessing.
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I missed something.
Well, when you need it, it'll be there, I suppose. At least based on the plan you told us.
Yeah, I suppose. Ferris just kind of rubs his temple.
I mean, we could fill you in, but it doesn't quite have the same effect, huh?
Yeah, I suppose.
All right. Well, let's get on with this.
All right, and we're back.
Huh, now waves.
There's also waves.
So, are you ready, Lissy?
Well, yeah. As ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Lead the way.
Alright. The place you would have access to him is once again at the Imperial Library in a newer office that he is settling into.
Is he like putting plants up and stuff like that? Is he just redecorating? Are we walking in on him redecorating?
No, if you walk in, he's just kind of turned around in the chair looking out the window.
Oh crap, we should have knocked. This is starting off badly.
Well, you can approach any way you want.
That was very probably in character. I think Lissy's just going to clear her throat gently.
And he'll swing around and look, and there's kind of a reaction as he sees the two of you there, but he doesn't say anything. There's pretty much this office has been kind of cleared out of most of the books, and really the only thing he's brought into it is kind of like a little model airship on the desk. Just the two of you?
Well, there's an army outside the door.
There's an army all over the city.
You have a point. How have you been?
That's not how we're gonna do this.
Well, I've been hanging around with humans a lot, and they do this thing where they do this little tiny small talk, and you do small talk back, and we
Why
finally
did
get
you
to the
just
point.
give it back to me? I went and I thought I was gonna have to use the magic knights and force it out, and
I didn't think you were going
you
to
just gave it back to me.
Yeah. Well, it was yours.
You just Pyrrhix. I was also surprised. And Orlando just looks at him.
Lissy steps another step forward, just to get attention back a little bit, and away from Rixus a little bit. And it's like, they were yours to begin with. I didn't know how to handle the situation, and from the sound of it, I probably reacted the best for myself. I didn't realize that you were going to bring an army with you, besides the one that was outside.
But you just gave it back.
I just gave it back.
And now I know that that's not everything.
No, that's not everything. We have brought everything. But everything comes with a price. And I'm not sure how you're going to be able to deal with everything. Although you seem a little bit confused about why I actually gave you the original ones.
I'm confused about the whole damn thing.
Well, you know, so was I, and then everything happened, and then...
I'm confused why you went away in the first place. I'm confused why you all switched over to his side. I'm confused why... Apparently, I have a huge chunk of my memory missing.
You do have a huge chunk of your memory missing. It was a memory, for the record, that I had no idea about. Until I saw it.
You're not gonna like it.
Well...
And you said there's a cost. What's the cost? Immunity?
No...
Is it to step back? Is it...
No...
What are you trying to extort here?
Well, we're not trying to extort anything. Why does there always have to be a cost? From me?
Because I don't understand.
There's a cost from the crystals, but there's no cost from us. Sorry, that just seemed like force of habit from old habits.
Because I don't... Between you and everybody else, I don't know what I need to do to make you stay.
You want me to stay?
I did at one point. Now I don't know. I don't know what your motivations are. I don't know why you sided with... I don't know why you're here, why you think that you can get away with this, but it'll only be a matter of time before we get enough evidence and that we can prove what you did. And if not, to hell with it.
Melkesh kind of slips in through the door. Hey, Orlando.
So you're all here.
Well, considered emotional support, but yes.
That's not the kind of emotional support I've seen you give before. I know what you guys come for whenever you're all together.
Actually, we're trying to avoid that. Lissy, why don't you start with the beginning, the wedding? I think he deserves to know, and where your heart really does lie. And he kind of looks at her with a "I'm sorry" look on his face, but...
No, it's okay. So... It really, you know, it began with the Lich. You were hounded night and day, and it got to the point where I didn't know whether you'd come home or not. And so I decided to do something about it. And unfortunately, it was before we were due to spend the rest of our lives together. And basically, I decided to make a deal where you were no longer hounded, but that I would have to search for certain items in order to pay off the debt that you tricked your way out of.
So that arrogant fucking wizard got his deal in the end.
It was the only way that I could make sure that you were all right.
But it's not right.
but it's not right. You are right. Because that wasn't the end of it, and I'm not even sure that was really the beginning of it, but it was a part of it, and it was my part of it. And the rest of it is on the crystals.
And Rixus will walk up and put it on the table. And this is your part of it. And he takes a step back. And you just see Orlando kind of take a feather out, and a runic circle appears around the crystal, and he analyzes it, and it is what you say it is. Not a bomb or anything.
When has Rixus been able to make anything that blows up?
He's, remember.
Sorry, Rixus. But really.
Is this it?
Are we back
to this? Just because I'm better at putting things together than taking things apart than both of you combined? Ugh. And Orlando
blow them apart.
grabs the crystal and activates it. And then there's pretty much a look. Kind of a strange distance in his eyes, and then a bit of shock, and then just kind of looks and drops the crystal.
Orlando?
What happened to her?
To her?
What?
Sorry.
What happened?
What happened?
What you're saying is you took a debt from the Lich King, and you erased my memories of sending the Archmage into the Aether. Something I could do because you believed the Empire was compromised. Was the Empire compromised?
It turns out that yeah, it really was.
Florentine was abusing both dragon graphs and potentially even demonic power sources to potentially lead the Empire to completely crush and control the continent. Malkesh adds on.
There are things underneath the city that are... Well, I recognize them, but...
And then Ferris bursts in. You guys are forgetting about the Imperial Spy Master who was working actively against the Empire.
I did say everyone was here, didn't I? You guys, you all know that I said that everyone was here. I wasn't lying.
Ferris just comes in with like a tray of coffee for everybody. Like, oh yeah, I was here too.
So you were right, Rixus. Was he right?
Is Rixus being right going to lead to unfortunate consequences?
I'm asking a question.
Yeah, Rixus was right.
And he looks to Lissy. I did it because I didn't have anything left. And I trust it, Rixus. The Archmage was unconditionally loyal to the Empire. I secured our ships. I made it easier. Because I didn't have anything left. You were gone. And I had death itself wanting to spite me.
To be fair, he was actually really impressed.
Well, he should be.
Well, he was. It's not many people that can pull off something without some sort of horrible deal to go along with it.
One of these days we're gonna have to figure out what he actually did.
I think... Was that in character, or...?
No, sorry, that was out of character.
Built an airship.
You know how dangerous the Halcyon engine is?
Well, I built half of it, so... Yeah?
If it was wrong, and that power wasn't focused, it could take out a chunk of the continent. I couldn't turn that on in good faith. He thought I was going to ask for the parts necessary. I just needed to get him talking enough to confirm my theory was right. I left without a deal, and then he saw the ship fly anyway.
You know, in a sense, he'll probably find that very amusing.
Really?
I think it's fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah. You literally exploited the one thing that he seems to enjoy more than anything. Sound of his own voice.
Talking about himself!
Yeah. And that's why, despite us not making a deal, having no way to break it, and at that point, really no reason, he still sent his ghouls to hound me down. To the point, why didn't you just say something? And why did you blackjack me and erase my memory?
I didn't blackjack. Did I blackjack him?
Not you, him.
Did I hit him? Oh, that, right, okay. I didn't say anything because it was part of the deal.
Why are you two so in a rush to protect me that you won't let me do one good thing?
Do you really need the answer to that?
Malkesh kind of motions to Lissy as if, do you want me to tell him?
I mean, it's pretty obvious. You're still not answering.
Alright, sorry. Orlando...
He's still looking at me like...
I asked...
It's because we love you.
And he looks.
And the good thing might have hurt you, okay? The good thing might still continue to hurt you. Which isn't something that we want.
There's also the matter that the demons have found potentially not just one, but 2 ways to crawl onto the continent and destroy the world, and if the Empire is a disruptive force, we've pretty much doomed ourselves.
Well,
Since you put it that way.
And honestly, Orlando, you're one of the greatest minds this continent has. And your friends, and, well, we can't let you go down this path thinking that, you know, we would do this to hurt you. They wouldn't. All of them did what they did because they loved you. Both as a friend and, well, what was to be your spouse. No, they didn't make maybe the right choice, maybe not even perhaps the most ethical choice, but can you really blame them?
We are Aukbees.
and he looks, and he turns around and he looks back out the window. And it was split into 3 crystals for a reason. It's a lot of knowledge for one person. And I thought, who can I trust more with this knowledge? But the people who love me. And he turns back around in the chair. But who apparently don't trust me in the same way. Have your damn wizard city. Do what you have to do. There's apparently an empire to fix.
Mukesh takes a really deep breath and lets it out. Whew. Mukesh kind of goes forward and pushes Lissy forward a little bit to go
What?
comfort Orlando.
What? No. Well, I don't know how much reparation you can make with someone who believes that you don't trust them. I do trust him. I just didn't trust the Lich, or anybody, really. It's the nature of it, Malkesh.
And I just wanted to make sure you were safe from yourself. And Orlando just snaps back. That sounds a whole lot like not trusting me. Not trusting anyone sounds a lot like not trusting me. Not trusting me not to hurt myself. Just...
So, hang on a second. So what were you going to do? she actually fluffs up. What were you going to do when something bigger came for you, and something bigger came for you, and the next bigger thing came for you, and the last bigger thing came for you, which would actually kill you, which would mean that not only would you have left me as a fucking widow, you know, probably raising an egg.
Mukesh backs
How
away from where he
dare
was
you!
pushing Lissy forward.
Say that I don't trust you after everything that I've been through. You know, I couldn't even look at you without giving you everything that you wanted.
You didn't even give a chance for anything for that to happen. You just decided, oh, no matter how big or the thing was, there's going to be a bigger thing. There was going to be a bigger thing. You left me alone. It doesn't matter how big the thing would have been. We would have been together. We would have been able to handle it. But I was alone.
You gave the ship to Rixus. I'm still mad at you for that.
Rixus. And it turns out I'm just as bad as... Turns out I'm just as bad as he is when it comes with the plotting.
It's just 3 birds in a room squabbling. I have to clean spit off of my monitor now.
When the squawking has died down a little bit, Melkesh kind of drops. So, is everyone going to be okay? Because I could really use a drink.
Arlando looks at Malkesh. I quit.
Oh.
You can't quit.
Oh, it's... Just stop putting the glass to your beak. It's not that hard.
No! You... What? I thought you meant quit the whole Empire thing!
Oh no!
Variety is so foreign.
No.
You quit? You quit
You
illicit
can let him-
substances? You're
I had
sober?
ships to build.
You're sober!
And then...
And you built ships!
And then at that moment, it snaps back to you at the bar when you gave him the crystals, and you pushed the drink in front of him, and he didn't touch it.
Oh, you've built ships sober.
Is that dangerous?
Oh my god.
Oh, Rixus goes, it's very dangerous. I'm glad we figured it out this way. We would have lost very quickly.
For fuck's sake, how are they even flying?
Okay, well, if no drink, Food?
I don't want to talk to you all right now.
Okay. Can you at least answer me, did you take care of my plants while I was gone?
Your plants are fine.
Oh, thank you. No, I could rely on you.
Oh.
Wait, I did.
Look.
I didn't betray you. I was gone for that whole shit.
No. But think about who you're making deals with.
I actually haven't made as many deals as you think.
Mm-hmm. You didn't. And I didn't make any deals. And that was enough to be hunted down.
You can hunt me down. When we're done, I really am not worried about it.
Well, I'm kind of worried about it.
You don't have anything to worry about anymore. But I have a job to do, and we have to save this place.
You... Both of you... Why do I fall for the same types?
What?
Every single
Wait,
fucking
what?
time. She just walks out the door. Just every time! Every time!
What did she just say?
Did you just say Rixus? I don't know. Arlando's like, that's just walk out the door. Just do it again. That's what you're great at. I was trying
Yes,
to.
me too!
I was about to have a moment. I was about to tell him something, and maybe you, who also made deals with the Lich King, could have listened to it.
Well, then I'll come back!
No,
It's
just
not
keep
hard.
going. Just keep going. What do you
No,
think?
she walks back into the room.
Well, go on with your moment then. What do you think happens after you save this world? The Lich King moves on to restoring the surface. Thus, his little experimental set of this continent has to change purposes from defeating the demons to how can you restore life on a planet.
You said that like it's a bad thing.
How many times do you think he's going to get that wrong? He's got a lot of time.
Yeah. Still can't ignore it.
We don't survive the mistakes.
No, we don't. But we still have to try. That's the point, isn't it? Mukesh kind of looks around to see if Gunhild is in the room now. We don't stand by and not try to fix what we can.
I'm not saying let's not fix it. I'm just saying if it doesn't even matter if the deal's on, then be careful when the deal's off. Now get out. I've got an empire I gotta figure out how to fix.
Mukesh just kind of shrugs. I'm glad you're not trying to destroy the world, Orlando.
Yeah. I was pretty pissed there for a second.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. He kind of says as he walks out.
I guess I'll go mind my stupid wizard city.
Rixus was surprisingly quiet during all that. Okay, so that kind of handles that, at least mostly, positively.
Yeah.
So I'm not actually. So I'm sorry because I've been in and out. Was Gunhild actually in the room for any of that, or was she like outside?
I think everybody made their way into the room
Oh,
for
yeah.
that.
Okay. Well, she's just gonna kind of, as they're kind of leaving, just what was that about your boss getting everything wrong?
The Lich King, the continent, in order to keep the demons from taking over, has had to wipe the experiment and restart more than once.
It's a lot of big words I don't like.
It's not a particularly positive thing.
No, it's not. And Brixus turns and looks to Malkesh. And he was trying to tell you something fairly important there. Which he's not great at articulating it, but you're an alchemist, right?
Yes.
This continent's a very useful experiment for defeating demons.
Yeah.
It's not set up to restore the surface world.
Not currently, no.
Then
But
we're
it
gonna-
doesn't change my choices.
It doesn't sound weird to you that everybody on this continent might be repurposed?
What choice do we have? Let ourselves be consumed?
Well, there's options other than undying fealty to the Lich King.
I haven't declared undying fealty. I just don't care what happens after we save the world. You gotta understand,
Well,
I
I
don't
certainly
have...
do.
Well, he's probably not gonna come after you.
That's not the issue here. The issue is if he just decides to blanket reset everything that we worked on to get to this point.
But he wouldn't just reset it with the progress we've made. Repurpose, maybe. Maybe push the things he wants, and that's something we'll have to deal with. The point of fact is, we have to stop the demons. We can't just let them be, we can't let them take over, we can't let the experiment get wiped again, because then, well, every time we fail, the demons become stronger. Surework pretty much assured us of that.
You're not wrong. It's just this is why we stopped Florentine.
Well, there's a difference between the incarnation of death in this world as we know it and the leader of a local library. I'm not saying I don't disagree with the Lich King's choices, but the point of fact is he's an extremely powerful ally. I realize that this is the gray area choice. I've known it for a long time, but then my entire life I've been stuck in the gray area choice. At least now I'm doing some good. And I don't care what happens in the long run because I don't have family. I don't have anyone to protect but you all, and you all are willing to throw yourself into danger to save this world.
We're trying to save the people that we care about, and that includes you. But to simply have all that repurposed or thrown away or just scribbled off because because the Lich King doesn't like it, I can't accept that.
Well, accept, don't accept. Until we find a solution, there's not much we can do about it. Unless you plan to go against the Lich King right now, which I assure you we do not have the resources for. Certainly, we need to be able to defeat the demons to even have the kind of combined source of arms to begin a fight like that. You're right, there's prettier things, there's less gray options, there's certainly more ethical choices that could have been made. Certainly, our entire time together, we have made expedient choices for the sake of others, because we cared or because we didn't think it was right. We've killed, we've kidnapped, we've extorted and stolen. The point of fact is we have to look at the big picture, and maybe repurposing gives us the entire world back and not just a continent. Maybe our great-great-grandkids have a place to go that isn't stuck floating in the air. We lost the world. We are a colony, and we are given the option of potentially taking back our homeland? Why is it not worth it? I'm not saying there won't be changes. I'm not saying even the Lich King is the one to do it. But the very potential is not disgusting or abhorrent in and of itself.
It's hard to reconcile with saying, not that I don't understand what you mean, but it's hard to reconcile with saying that we would throw away everything that we've done just for the whim of one icon of the Lich King, or even any of them, to do it as they please.
The point of fact is, if we fail, we've already given up everything we've done. If we do nothing,
I'm
we give up
not
everything
saying
we've
we
done.
shouldn't fight this fight. I'm not saying we shouldn't fight against the demons. I'm not saying that this is the wrong plan, but all the same, it doesn't seem, well, right to take everything that we've done and throw it out at the end.
We don't know that. It's hypotheticals.
And
To
what
be
if it comes
fair-
to that? What if that is the situation that we face?
Then we'll have to deal with it. Like we've dealt with everything else, including the Empire coming to shambles. One step at a time, as a group, together.
Surprisingly, that's what I wanted to hear from you.
Well, Rixus looks, you're 1/3 of the way to the Empire, and you have pretty support from Grand Adostrum in the Wildlands. That's getting close to a unified continent, at least against this threat.
It's a start. And we didn't have to remove Orlando from the picture, which I'm very happy about.
I am too.
Seems like it'll take time, but hopefully he understands.
We wouldn't have
Even if I
removed him
don't.
just because he was angry at us. There's a difference between angry and driven hate.
He is still very angry at us.
And rightly so. Malkesh kind of motions with his hands. Rightly so. But still, he's not a threat to the continent now.
I suppose that's it for me from you then. I'm going back to the house. I'm sure you have more work to do.
Far more than we'd like to admit, I think.
Which, we're a half hour over time now, so...
Yay.
And
Hooray.
one of the things we have to deal with is the Crusade, and that's a dollared thing, so... And he has, unfortunately, had to duck out. So some of the other things to think about, since I'm just going to actually do this out of character to put the thought in everybody's mind, is once you tidy up the Empire, where is it that we go next? The kind of two remaining major powers that you know of that aren't mostly on your side right now, or at least need to be rallied, are the Elf Queen and the Dragon Mistress.
Finger guns at Locust. You've got the Elf Queen handled, right? Right?
I will seduce her.
What?
Both. There's a magic item for that.
Although, wouldn't it be great if Locust was considered, like, on the scale of male elves? He was actually pretty far down on the list.
Probably.
So, and I mean, he's absolutely gorgeous. So, going up the scale. And the queen could have any pick.
Isn't there also a dragon graveyard to investigate?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think we have actually more leads pointing us right now to the Dragon Graveyard.
Yeah.
I mean, we do need to do the tree, but I think we have more direct leads to the graveyard.
And that's also where we'll tie up some Dragon Mistress stuff as well, too. Either way, all options involve you having to take to the open sky.
So did we do okay with Orlando then? Was that alright?
I mean, we didn't have to kill him.
Yeah.
I'll take
Yeah,
that as a
nobody
win.
got murdered, so I think
Yeah,
that's
nobody died.
the
I
best
think we
possible
won.
outcome.
I think that's a solid, probably, B- ending. You guys aren't going to get married in the epilogue, but he's still alive.
Well, you can do Game Plus, it's fine.
Right.
Hey!
Always fall for the same bloody man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, Cash is gonna have to chase her down and ask her about that later.
Yeah.
Because he has very good hearing with those floppy ears.
I just thought it was funny because, like, there's Orlando, making the sacrifices. There's Malkesh making the sacrifices.
You have a type, it seems.
I'll have to go back and listen to the first half.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was glad I was able to join at least a little bit, though.
So yeah, in this, you still need to talk to Vaguna and Lockhart.
Yep.
I'm just a simple hopping
we give-
chicken
did we give
amassing a
Indra her
demon
eye back?
army, but
What did you
Or
say?
no? Did we give Indra her eye back or no?
No.
No.
But We did give her, and we didn't give her power back either, but we did give her something to make her recovery go well.
Oh, so I still have her eye.
Yeah, hold on to that.
Okay. Do you have purposes for this?
We might.
In case someone loses an eye?
I just think that we don't necessarily need her as a superpowered, grafted person with the future coming up. Especially if she's the cover for the Emperor. Best if there's a reason for her maybe not to be in the direct spotlight. Let Vaguna be the one that people think about as far as the power of the Empire kind of a thing. At least that's my reasoning. So I'm really sorry if I talk too much.
No!
No, by all means.
No, Melkesh has more information than most of us do. Lord knows I'm not good at carrying a story. I've also just been like super checked out this weekend, so I haven't had a whole lot to say either way.
Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and kill the stream. So,
All right.
good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you
Good
for
night.
watching.
Have a good night.